In this section, we're going to talk about lines and slope. Now, a function can be considered what we call linear if, that is, we can write that as y equals m times x plus some constant b. So in this situation, both m and b are real numbers. M is the multiple, the scalar coefficient on x, and b is a constant. So these are both considered constants or real numbers. And when I say a real number or a constant, what I mean is that m or b could be 1, could be 0, could be 10 million, could be the constant pi, which is 3.14. And when we refer to m, we generally call m our slope, and we'll talk more about slope later. And then that b value, the constant plus b, that is going to be our y-intercept. So we have a slope, that coefficient of x, we have some number times x, plus b, the y-intercept, plus some constant, some number. So this form, representing our linear function, this can be called slope-intercept form. And we'll talk more about slope-intercept form and how to find slope and also y-intercepts moving forward. But let's look at some specific types of linear functions. So if I take this y equals mx plus b, and if I let the m value equal 0, well, then I would have y equals 0 times x plus b. Now, 0 times anything is just 0, so this is equal to y equals b. Y equals b is a horizontal line, and it has a slope of 0. The slope is 0 for any horizontal line. So what does a horizontal line graph look like? Well, it's a horizontal, goes left to right, and all of the y values are the same. So looking at these, we have 0, 3 being our y-intercept. Over here, we might have -7, 3. So you'll notice that on any point you would pick on this line, the y value would always be 3. So this represents the horizontal line, y equals 3. B is 3, it's the constant. And then, we could draw a line down here. This line would be y equals -5. So if m is 0, m representing the slope, we will always have a horizontal line. Let's look at another specific type of line. What occurs if m is equal to 1 and b is equal to 0? So y equals 1 times x plus 0. So if the slope m is 1 and the y-intercept is 0, this simplifies and we get y equals x. This is the identity. This is what we call the identity function or the identity line. The graph of a line, y equals x, well, that's this perfect 45-degree angled line running through the origin. And all of the ordered pairs on that line, x and y, would be the same. So we might have this point 0, 0, 5, 5. Over here in the left, we could have -3, -3. The x and y values are all the same. And then the last thing we want to talk about is vertical lines. I want to mention those real quick. Vertical lines are given by the equation x equals a. And a is a real number. So x equals 2, that would be a line passing through x equals 2. And all of the ordered pairs on that line would have a 2 in the x position. So I might have 2, 5, or I could have 2, -2. Notice all the x values on these ordered pairs are 2. And again, we haven't talked about slope a lot, but any vertical line, the slope is always going to be called undefined. All right, and again, we'll talk about that more later, but the main takeaways here is if you have y equals a number, that represents a horizontal line with slope of 0. Y equals x represents the identity function. And then x equaling some number a, that is going to be a vertical line with an undefined slope. And a vertical line is not a function. Can any of you think of why? And that would be because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. If I were to draw a vertical line, it would touch everywhere. Remember, the vertical line test says that I can draw a vertical line and it is only possible to pass through the function once.